So most people thought it was just jokes on social media. But what started as just a comment about Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama's Fugu, which he wore to Zambia, quickly turned into a bigger conversation about African culture, respect, and identity. And the conversation and debate is already sparking global debate in Ghana, Zambia, UK, Canada, and even in the diaspora. So when President John Dramani Mahama arrived on an official visit wearing traditional Ghanaian attire, popularly known as Batakari or Fugu, few expected his outfit to spark continental debate. So what really happened that has gotten people all across the world to talk about President John Dramani Mahama's Fugu in Zambia? If this is the first time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Now, let's break down what really happened in Zambia.
If you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Now, this is the penultimate number and it's number 2. At number 2, I present to you Kweku Afrik. Wow! This guy has a thunderous voice. Like, when he speaks, you wanna listen. I've been able to watch a couple of his videos and I sincerely will tell you that he makes great impression in whatever content he's going to present. Thank you so much, Mr. Kweku. Keep up the good work.
So Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama is an official state visit to Zambia. In fact, he left and he got there on the 4th of February, and it is going to continue through to the 6th of February. And he went with his beloved wife, Lordina Mahama. Now, this is a high-level state visit which is aimed at turning the long-standing friendship between the two nations into serious economic power. So the primary goal of the visit is to deepen economic ties under the African Continental Free Trade Area, which is the AFTA. Now, they've already signed a historic visa waiver agreement, which is already signed and sealed, allowing citizens of both countries to travel to Ghana and Zambia without visa. So that is done and dusted. And also in area of digital and fintech export, President John Dramani Mahama is showcasing Ghana's advancement in digital technology and fintech to the Zambian businessmen. In fact, whilst in Zambia, the president also met Ghanaians who are resident in Zambia and had a talk with them.
Miracles continue to happen. Tema Oil Refinery, which was comatose for so many years, 7 years, has kicked out and has started refining crude oil in Ghana again. Several of the state-owned enterprises.
So in all, the two leaders are signing 8 memoranda of understanding covering agriculture, mining, and energy. That is what is happening. But on the blind side of that, he didn't dress like the Zambian president, who was in suit and tie. He was dressed in a native Ghanaian Batakari, others call it Fugu, a very prominent attire, which is for royals in Ghana. Most Zambians did not know what attire it was and what it really is. So they took to social media and started trolling the president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, which they saying that our president is wearing blouse. Now, if you don't know blouse is, in Africa, it's it is a kind of a cloth which is worn by women. Yes, it's very popular in Africa. So they were trolling our president. So that was when international YouTube star Woody Maya came in. Then, when Woody Maya saw Zambians trolling the president of Ghana, he came in and wrote, "Just woke up reading disgusting comments from Zambians calling Fugu blouse. Keep trying and deleting. I'm really trying hard to be diplomatic in my address, but extremely difficult." So at this juncture, Woodmaya was trying to give them, but he will write, then to come. No, Woodmaya, you are an international star. Don't do that. Don't wave into this controversy. Then he will delete it. But then at the point, it was uncontrollable. His desire became insatiable. And so that was when he posted the first one. Then Woodmaya came again. This time he decided to educate the Zambians. So he wrote, "Dear Zambians, the outfit worn by our president is not a blouse. It is a Ghanaian traditional attire known as Fugu, also called Batakari. Our president is intentionally promoting the local garment industry both within and beyond our borders, unlike your president, whose suit is not African. It is unfortunate that many of you, despite having access to smartphones and the internet, still choose to remain ignorant. It's time for us to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery." So that was all Woodmaya wrote, and boom, social media started. People started writing. In fact, Woodmaya even came again and wrote that, "Dear Zambians, this is Osajefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the man you named the whole university after, proudly wearing his Fugu." So at this moment, just like Woodmaya was staying on top of the Zambians, so the Zambians had to counter. You understand? So the Zambian also counted. So that was when David Tabo Macha Mukombo, he's a Zambian. That was when he posted. He said that has Woodmaya declared war against Zambian just because some Zambians questioned the attire worn by the Ghanaian president? That was when he wrote. Then Woodmaya copied it and wrote that, "I'm not a warrior to declare war, but I'm here to educate." Yes, and let me add, educate, inform, and entertain. That is Woodmaya for you. So that was when an activist also from Zambia also decided to battle him one-on-one. He decided to battle Woodmaya. So this guy wrote, "Can Ghana, with its US base, brag about being decolonized just because they wear locally made clothes?" This morning, I read a response by Woodmaya educating Zambians that the Ghanaian president was not wearing a blouse, but a locally made top, unlike the Zambian president who is not wearing an African attire. I cringed reading this, considering the Ghanaian president is still wearing Western pants, hey, and is coming from a country where the Americans have a US base to attack other African countries. Hey, this left me wondering as to what constitutes being a decolonized person that's wearing one item of so-called African attire when all clothes, Western or African, are actually Asian clothes, considering that the Indians invented cotton cloth and weaving. Make one more African even if their country is a colonial bastion with a US base to exert neo-colonialism in Africa. What constitutes being mentally colonized? Ghana is also a dumping ground for over 150 tons of toxic Western computer and electronic waste, which pollute the soil and underground water. So, what is mental decolonization in real terms? Clothes you wear or how you advance African well-being from colonial system? Hey, that was the whole thesis. I have even shortened it. So that was what Ruteno also wrote as a reply. And since then, this has gone global. People are talking about it. African in the diaspora, Zimbabweans in Canada, in America, Ghanaians in Canada, America, they are also talking about this with a lot of, prominent personalities waving into this controversy. So Abeku Santana, who leads the Ghana Tourism Authority, has waved into this. And Sports Oba, who is the host of Angel in the Morning, has also, dropped his commentary. Now, let me read a couple of them. So Sadiq Adams wrote, "Dear Zambians, history is barely wrong. Zambia is one of the few countries where the native people vigorously opposed their own leaders for fighting for independence. Most of their freedom fighters were hosted, educated, and trained in Ghana on how to emancipate their people and gain independence. In fact, the meeting by the respected Kenneth Kaunda before his independence march was held in Accra. The facts are there, but it seems the long walk to freedom has had little effect on consciousness for many." So it goes on and on and on. And that was when Rexoma even came in, suggesting that 5th of February should be a holiday for only Fugu. In fact, Ghanaians should be asked to wear Fugu on just that day, because with this argument, with this Zambians, it is getting somewhere. But one thing you should know is that in all of this, the two presidents, that is President Hachilima and President John Dramani Mahama, they are in a comfortable zone. Having their discussions and signing their agreement.
Today, our friendship remains grounded in mutual respect, shared democratic values, and a common aspiration for peace, development, and African dignity. Right Honorable Speaker, the responsibility of our generation is clear. That is to translate historic solidarity and political goodwill into concrete economic and social dividends for our people. Our forebears won us independence and nationhood. Now we must win the fight for economic transformation and prosperity for our people. We must confront the battle of the economic emancipation of our country as geopolitics is undergoing tectonic shifts. Today, global humanitarian assistance is shrinking, official development assistance is declining, defense spending is rising, and traditional multilateral systems are under strain. Africa therefore faces a different pandemic, the pandemic of unfulfilled potential. Millions of our young people remain unemployed, health systems are fragile, and economies extract wealth without building capacity. Madam Speaker, Africa must confront this changing reality with transparency and pragmatism. Only days ago, I had the opportunity to address global leaders in Davos, where I spoke about the Accra Reset Initiative and the urgent need for Africa to redefine its development trajectory. Too many African countries remain trapped in what I describe as triple dependency. Dependency on external actors for security choices, dependency on donors for health and education systems, and dependency on suppliers of critical minerals while capturing little or no value.
In fact, the social media banter has nothing to do with them, and they have nothing to do with it. They are still going on, working together in areas of, fintechs, agric, and all that will help and seek the good and the well-being of the two countries, whether it's Zambia and Ghana. But the good news is that for Ghanaians now, Zambia is now visa-free. And for Zambians, Ghana is also now visa-free. And for this new cooking beef...
Breaking news. Zambians reacted. Many thought that the president of Ghana was wearing a parachute. So right now, the president of Ghana is in Zambia for state visit. But Zambians, they were not impressed with what he was wearing. The president of Ghana, John Mahama, arrival in Zambia has sparked conversations all over social medias, with some saying that the head of state arrived wearing a blouse. But what the president of Ghana was wearing is not a parachute and is not a blouse. This is Ghanaian traditional attire, which is called Batakari. For Ghanaians, either you are royalty or ordinary citizen, Batakari, this traditional clothes is very important for Ghana, is very powerful, and is a symbol of national identity. The president of Ghana tried as much as possible to promote Africa whenever he get a chance. So when he goes through all these important meetings, he makes sure that he wear African attire. And also not forgetting, Ghana is the only country which have protected their heritage, which have protected their traditional clothes. Because of John Mahama, Ghana has secured legal ownership of Kente cloth. Now, Kente cloth is legally owned by Ghana. If you want to use this one for business reason or for any business at all, you have to ask for permission.
It's going to be interesting. So it is what it is. Now, what is your take on this beef between Ghana and Zambia? What do you think of it? Leave your comment in the comment section. It's a wrap for today.